Welcome back to the She's Just Like Me podcast with your host, Issa.
And Sophie, and today we're going to be taking you through the wild journey of One Direction infection and just all things that are chronically online.
Yes, ma'am. What me and Sophie always like to say is that our timelines go as this way: childhood, One Direction infection, adulthood. So we're
Correct.
gonna make sure you're buckled in for this wild ride, and we're gonna be talking about all of these things. But I think we should get into a couple of current events right now before we start talking about so much
Yes.
infection.
Okay, yes. So I know that you went to the outlets. I know you did some pre-Black Friday shopping.
Oh, yes.
Give me everything.
We did some damage. Last week, we talked about how Sophie went to the Reformation sample sale, and we did end up getting a good amount of stuff from there.
Oh, so many things.
I don't think we ever talked about what you got.
No.
Wait, we should get into that as
Maybe
well.
we should because I'm also going to go back.
Oh, yeah, you're doing more Reformation samples. One thing about
Yeah.
us, we like to spend money, but the thing is, we also love to save money.
We got to do it smart. If I can get away with not spending an additional dollar, like I will. I will.
Period. Girl
Because you
math
know what?
suggests you're
That
saving
dollar
money.
goes so far in the Target dollar section.
Oh, you're so right. And I love a good savings moment too. Girl math suggests that me and Sophie actually made money from shopping the Reformation sample sale.
Yes. I think we talked about that. We did talk about that last episode.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. I got three
Yeah.
pieces. Sophie ended up getting, what did you get?
I got a lot. I got maybe like 10 pieces. I
That's
got
good.
yeah, I got some I got a couple skirts. I
Nice.
got a handful of dresses. I got a couple trousers. I didn't really get tops last time. Um maybe I'll have better luck with tops when I go later today.
Oh, you're going today?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Just keep me posted. Like, if
Yeah.
you see anything really, really good, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like last time. It could just, if you see something really, really good, just keep me posted.
Yeah, because now, like when you get later into the sample sales, when things are discounted even more,
Oh,
which is why I'm going back now because when I had originally gone, there was like a couple t-shirts that I wanted. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $40 for a fucking t-shirt.
no,
But
it's
maybe I
too
go
much money.
now and the t-shirts are $20.
And you will be paying $20
And I will
for
be
the
paying
t-shirt.
$20 for a t-shirt.
I
But
went into Oak and
$40.
Fort the other day and I saw the cutest just like baby tee. It was
Oh my God.
$35, but I want to do like a TikTok video comparing t-shirts of like that are really expensive. Like I have a $6
Yeah.
t-shirt from Target and then like a $20 t-shirt from Zara, and I want to get like this $45 t-shirt from Oak and Fort and see how they.
You know who has a really, really good, like just plain white baby tee?
Abercrombie?
Uniqlo.
Oh, I did go. I did. Oh my God, I did some damage at Uniqlo the other day too.
I think Uniqlo has the best quality baby tee that I've ever put on my body.
How much is it? Oh wait, I have it.
Do you?
I have a ribbed one.
I have just like a plain like cotton t-shirt.
No, okay, I need to look into that because I have two ribbed ones that I got when we were at Disney Springs a couple years ago. I went to Disney Springs. Actually, it was a year ago, like probably today.
What I think it what? No, it definitely wasn't. Oh my God, yeah, you're right.
Almost today. Yeah, we
Almost, yeah.
I went to Disney with Sophie and her family for Thanksgiving last year, and we went to Disney Springs and we did all the Black Friday shopping. It was actually insane.
I do remember
But
that. And
I
everyone
did
got mad at us because we were late.
you know what? Fashion is an actual excuse to be late, and
So
shopping
true.
is an actual excuse.
So
I
true.
went to the outlets that are near me yesterday and I bought some Tory Burch glasses for $75. That's insane. That's unheard
No,
of.
that's unheard of, and I need you to go back and buy them for me so I can pay you back.
I I think, all of the say in español is el esfuerzo que me ha hecho, all of like the
The
strength
effort.
and like the effort that you've put in for me to go to the Reformation sale. I must go to Tory Burch again and get you another pair of glasses because they're just too good. Like it was
Yeah.
50% off plus another $10 off of your purchase. Yeah, I know.
Girl.
That's what I'm saying. They're a beautiful red pair, and I'm like, red is so in right now, but I don't want to buy a bunch of red clothes. I'd rather just like accessorize with red.
No, but that's so good.
I
That's
know.
such a good deal.
I honestly might just have to go back like on Monday or something. Just do a
I
quick,
think you
just like
do.
drive by.
I think you do. I
It
think
was
you
so
do.
good. I also got a couple of Christmas presents for a couple of people in my family at Coach. I don't think that any of the 14 listeners are my family. So I got a couple of that journal that you got me. from
Yes.
Coach. I got two of those plus like the little pencil holders,
Uh-huh.
matching for two people in my family. I won't
Yeah, that's
name
cute.
names because our family's full of chismosas. So
That's true.
yeah. So I did that. I got a belt.
A belt?
I got a belt to hold up my little pants. I got a pair of pants at Loft the other day that are like huge on me, but like they're the perfect amount of like slouchy. But if I want to
Yeah,
wear them high waisted, I need a belt. And I didn't have a belt.
that's fair.
I didn't own a belt. Who doesn't own a belt at 24 years old?
Yeah, you need to get your shit together.
I bought two. I bought one at Loft. It's too big on me. I have to drill a hole into it.
Oh, but that's easy. That's easy.
That's fine. That's fine. And I got one at Coach. It came out to it was originally like $118 and I got it for 35.
That's such a steal.
A belt for $118. Oh my God.
Girl.
I saw a jacket in Coach yesterday and I sent it to Sophie.
Yes.
I'm going to show the picture right now, just like off my phone. So if you're not watching, watch. Look at this picture. Look at this jacket. It
Dude.
has, if you're listening, it's a black, what is this, like a varsity jacket?
Yeah, it's like a black leather varsity jacket with like a Mickey Mouse embroidered on it, but he has like a little winter scarf. It's so
It's
sweet.
so cute. And then here's the front. I sent her a picture of the front. Like imagine this for
Yeah.
like a cold Disney day or Disneyland or something.
The front just has like Coach chain stitched on like the upper right hand side. Dude,
It's not leather though. It's like
it's not leather, so they're
no, it's not.
charging all that money for it to be not leather.
Yeah, it's not leather. It's I don't know. It's that soft like varsity jacket. Like
That's honestly offensive.
yeah, it's like it's not cotton, but it's like that soft like fuzzy material. Guys, this jacket is it retails for oh, okay, Canadian dollars it's 850, but here in US dollars it's $698.
Yeah. With
690.
an extra 25% off. I'm
Well,
good.
it was 50% off with an extra 25% off. That's what I was saying.
Oh.
But Sophie, it would still be like $200, $300 for that jacket.
Yeah, no, it'd still be ridiculous.
Like that
No, no,
jacket
no.
is like $100. That's doable.
No, 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 no. Yeah, that's still a lot. But now that pricing makes more sense to me because I was like $698 with only 25% off. You're crazy.
No, no,
But
no, no.
no, no, no,
It was
no.
50% off plus an extra 25.
Okay,
So it's basically 75% off.
so maybe it's not as insane as I originally thought it was.
I
It's
mean, what I
still
could also do is I could go back if they're still having that sale and get a price check from it from like inside the store too.
yeah, because I know that there's some exclusions where the extra 50% off goes towards.
It was on that rack.
That's fucking rude. I can't believe they would do that to me.
It was on the rack. These were also the glasses if you're watching. You're missing out if you're not watching. These were the glasses that I bought from Tory Burch.
They're so
They're
cute.
so cute. I actually like my jaw dropped. But yeah, that's where me and Sophie like to get our Christmas shopping last year. She came and we went to the outlets
Dude,
around.
yeah, we did damage.
Yeah,
It
we
was around the I
we
think it was around the same time.
yeah, it was like right. I think right before I went. It had to have been right before. Oh no, maybe after
No,
because
no,
it
no.
was right.
It was before you it was right before you went, like 2 weeks before you went because when I went, I convinced you to come down.
One thing about me is if Sophie comes hello,
I
hello.
didn't I didn't have to
Sophie
do
can
much
come.
convincing.
Sophie can convince me to do anything. Anything. You know where this woman has dragged me to like the depths of Pittsburgh to go watch a band called Citizen and
I have
Angel Dust.
dragged you. I did drag you to see Citizen. I also dragged you to see the 1975 a couple times.
Yeah,
I
but that
dragged
wasn't too much
you
dragging. Like I like the 1975
I dragged you to see Citizen again in New York, like in some rinky-dinky ballroom.
twice,
It was
twice,
fun.
and we got to see Angel Dust, which was just amazing. Angel Dust? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, Angel does. I'm surprised that you remembered.
The lead singer kept going
Yeah.
like pursing his lips and then like bobbing his head.
No, but that's so girly pop of him.
He's so girly papacy queen. Um, okay, so let's go ahead and get into because we could go on about this forever.
Do we want
Um,
to jump in on our pressing topic?
yes, and our current events, I know, riveting information about me and Sophie shopping, but I think if we get into okay, so One Direction infection era. Okay, so it's not gonna only be like having
Wait,
to do with One Direction.
yeah, but it's like that era of like when we were because now we have a term for it, and now the term for it is chronically online. But
Yeah.
back then, you would see the most heinous things online, and it's just like I have no words to explain it other than it was heinous.
It was so heinous.
I have literally no words to explain what went down online during that era, but we're going to talk about, I guess, more so One Direction infection and the insanities that surrounded the internet at that time.
Like when we were drafting up the bullet points for this episode, Sophie was coming out of right field with these things that like she pulled them out of the like inner like crevices of my long-term memory storage.
No, but these things severely changed my brain chemistry. Like this
These are
altered my life trajectory.
these are canon events.
No, correct. Like Justin Bieber peeing in a mop bucket. Crazy.
Do you remember how? Because like I think until this point, Justin Bieber was like, don't they call this version of him like light skinned Bieber?
I think so. I was never in the Justin Bieber fandom,
I
but I
was.
remember I so then you would be better equipped to speak about this then.
I was because I when One World came out, my world was complete. My world became one.
Ew.
So I was obsessed with him. I had a poster of him in my room from that album. And I remember like actually like playing like a physical CD as one did back in the day, back in the olden days. Of like I would play it on repeat and on repeat and on repeat. And I remember we
Girl.
went to my parents took me and one of my friends Jada in elementary school to a concert on Miami Beach. It was like the Pepsi it was like something like tickets were like $1. It was like a
To see
dollar.
Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber, Rihanna, Timbaland, Paula Abdul, and Nick Cannon were hosting it. And like we went to go see that, and my parents just took me and my friend.
I can't lie, that's kind of iconic.
It was kind of iconic. Justin Bieber, this was the time that he was in his boot.
Yeah.
So we went to go see him, and there was like two sections on the beach. There was like one section was like kind of barricade, but there was a lot of people. And
Okay.
then there was like another section was behind the barricade, and we were at the front of like the behind the barricade section.
Yeah, so it probably was like the VIP section, the people who had paid more than $1 to get in.
Yes. Yes, yes.
And then
And then there
people
was
who
like
had paid
general
a
admission.
dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably what it was.
Yeah, the pores. We were in the back with the pores. And
True.
um someone from Telemundo came up to me and my dad, and they interviewed my dad for Telemundo, and he was on TV at
That
the
is
Justin Bieber
so
concert.
funny.
Yeah, and the lady was like this was in Spanish, and she was like, "Hey, so blah blah blah, what are you doing here?" And he was like, "I just brought my daughter and her friend to come see Justin Bieber, blah blah blah." And it like zooms in on me and my friend, and we're like waving at the camera. We're so small. And then she goes, "So how did you get here?" And my dad goes, "Through inertia." And she goes, "Oh, okay."
Bro, that
Such
is
an
like
Italo thing.
pinnacle of your dad. That is like a
Like,
pinnacle of your dad.
that's Italo right there. That's
Yeah. Oh
Arnold.
my
Yeah.
God, that is so funny.
Yeah.
Through inertia.
Yeah, but it was like in Spanish. She goes, "¿Cómo llegaste acá?" Por inercia. That's such a running bit in my family that my dad ended up calling one of his cars Inercia because like that's literally like a running bit. So when Justin Bieber peed in the mop bucket, this was like I think he was entering his light skinned Bieber era because he like changed the trajectory of like how the public viewed
Dude,
him.
he was so incredibly problematic during this era.
He was. And this was also the era that he was like dating Selena Gomez, I think. And also like a little bit
Yeah.
after this, like a few years after was like the Ariana Grande donut incident. And like everyone was
Oh
like
my God.
everyone was like, why are people licking donuts and peeing in mop buckets? And I'm like, okay, this is not like the worst thing a human being could do.
No,
But like
correct. Like there are arguably worse things that people have done throughout the course of history, and you're gonna say that a teenager peeing in a mop bucket and a teenager licking a donut saying "I hate America." How
okay,
dare they?
please,
There are worse things that happen in this world.
definitely. But because Justin Bieber was like also this area of like I guess like teenagers, especially like men in the
Yeah.
industry, it was like very PG. Like with One
Yeah.
Direction, it was very PG. Like you have to be very
That's the
proper.
thing. That's the thing,
Mhm.
because they were very like clean cut, and
Mhm.
from my understanding, like they had assignments that they needed to follow, and like you're this one, you're this one, you're this
Yes,
one, giving them like different stereotypes that they needed to fit in.
fit in the
And if
mold.
they were caught like falling outside of those molds slash stereotypes that were assigned to them, it was an issue.
It's like, oh my God, we have so many moments. But because we're on Justin Bieber right now, Sophie brought up Plastic Bieber on Twitter. If you were on Twitter at this time,
Dude, yes, this was like the peak of, I'm gonna say like this had to have been like 2012, 2013 through maybe 2015, 2016.
about, yeah,
Dude, crazy, crazy, crazy. This I don't if you remember Plastic Bieber, please make me feel like I'm not going absolutely crazy. But she would literally send death threats and just write the most heinous things about every celebrity that was not Justin Bieber online, and would like threaten to leak like personal information. But it was always like, I remember there was an incident where she got suspended because she was being racist against Zayn.
oh my God,
Dude, that era was just so incredibly problematic online. I look back and I laugh at it because like, oh, there's worse things floating around online
sure.
than like some little teenage girl just learning to use a bad word for the first time online ever, because that's the energy that it gave.
Oh my God, I got in trouble for saying the F word in one of my tweets. Like my dad saw people retweeting my tweet, and we were at our aunt's house in Jersey, and my dad saw that people were, because I had my notifications on. I turned off my notifications immediately. Still to this day, I don't have them on.
Me
But
either.
someone was like retweeting a tweet of mine, and it had the F word in it. I was 13 at the time, but had the F word in it. And he, not me not wanting to say it right now because I still feel like I'm gonna get in trouble.
Mm,
But
But what did you say? Please share with the class.
probably fuck. So he was like, he got, so, I don't remember what it said, but I was like, I'm so fucking tired of blah, 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 and blah, blah. And I think it was like a funny tweet and probably had to do with something about One Direction because it was on my One Direction. We had One Direction fandom, fan accounts, by
We
the way.
did. We did. I
Yeah.
remember that I had started it. I had started mine, and then I somehow convinced you to get one too.
Like we said, I'm easily convinced. Anything Sophie does, I'm game.
I
I'm game.
remember, dude. Dude, that era was so fucking funny. Do you remember the girl who ate her tampon?
That, okay,
Giovanna Plowman.
the fact that you remember her name,
Oh, how could I forget? Like, she changed the trajectory of my life. Like that tweet that is now going. I forget that you're not on Twitter anymore. But there's
I'm not on Twitter.
there's a Twitter bit that's like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself in front of these people to change the trajectory of their lives forever.
Oh my God.
No, it's funny. Okay, it's funny.
Oh, okay. Lol.
It's funny, but she literally changed the trajectory of my life forever because of that
Oh
video of
my
her eating
God.
her tampon. Like, it was
Was
nasty.
was that real?
I don't know, and I hope it wasn't. I
I
genuinely,
don't
to
think
this day, I
so.
don't know, and I couldn't tell you. But people were so gross back then that I wouldn't be surprised.
I think we need to check in on Giovanna because I think her eating her tampon. I mean, you think she's like, I how old was she when she did that? She had to have been like 15, 16.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, she was a teenager. She was a teenage girl.
Has anyone checked on the girl who ate her tampon? If you know, leave it in the comments below.
Maybe but I don't know.
Maybe
I'm
she's
gonna be
listening.
honest with you. Maybe she would.
Maybe she's listening. We should have her on the pod.
Giovanna Plowman, if you're listening, please
Please, we'd
give
love
us
to
a
have you
call.
on.
Give us a call.
I just don't think that was real. Something like she lives in a lot of people's brains rent free, but like subconsciously, you know who lives in my brain rent free? And I think that you should
Who?
really tell the story about how you made Esty listen to Cher Lloyd the other day. Because Cher Lloyd at the time of One Direction Infection was so important. She was, I would beg to say, as important as the Queen of England. To me, she
Cher
was the
Lloyd by
Queen of
Cher
England.
Lloyd.
Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd. Are you kidding me?
Oh my god. Okay, so this is this is like a running bit for me personally, just the Cher Lloyd by Cher Lloyd. Um I'm sure you all remember that video of like those two little sisters like singing in front of a camera, getting ready to sing "Want You Back." Let's set the scene for them.
Okay,
Let's set the scene for them. So
curtains open.
Issa and I are gonna sing to you "Cher Lloyd" by Cher Lloyd. The music in the background starts playing the da na 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 na, right? Ah! And before they can even get to that point, mom walks in. Who took a shit in the toilet? So that video is what we're referring to. So
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with my boyfriend the other day, and I was like, that video is
Oh,
so
baby.
fucking funny, but also Cher Lloyd's impact. Like, I wonder what I wonder what she felt when she saw that video for the first time ever. He goes, Who's Cher Lloyd?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wrong question to ask. Wrong
Oh
fucking
my
question
god.
to ask me.
Oh my
So
god.
of course, me putting Cher Lloyd on CarPlay, not even two beats in, he turns it off. I'm not listening to the shit. Respectfully, I understand it. It was shit from a butt.
He has
But
no he has no taste.
no. But like, I get it. Like that era, like the music from Cher Lloyd was shit from a butt. Like it was not good.
Do you think that they like brainwashed us with that? Because I think that song is so good.
I I think I don't know. There's just
Objectively speaking, it's bad, but subjectively speaking, I think that that song hits. It would have
correct.
been my first. It was runner up for my first dance song.
I think objectively speaking, you're right. Like it's a horrible song, but
Yeah.
subjectively, there's just so many things tied to that song that like, how can you say it's a bad song?
Yeah, I mean
You
like
can't.
objectively, most of One Direction songs are not that good.
No, so that's where we're gonna stop.
They're not that good. I mean, I guess for the time, it was a different time.
No,
I mean,
you're right.
for
You're
the
right. You're
for the
right.
time, it
You're
was
right.
good, but for what people have come out now, um like who's that uh who's that boy band right now that's um
There's a boy band right
like
now.
Jungkook, isn't it?
BTS girl.
BTS. Listen, listen. Some of their songs,
Jungkook.
I swear, someone told me I look like him. Someone told me I look like Jungkook. And I was like, you know what, period.
That's a crazy thing to say. I don't think you look like Jungkook.
I was like, listen, period.
You
I was
guys
like,
like you share no like facial structures. Like you don't even have like any
we were
similar
separated at
facial.
birth.
Huh?
I find out that we were separated at birth.
No, correct. You guys are twins, and like he went
Twins.
off to South Korea,
Yeah.
whereas you now living in Virginia.
I stayed in West Palm Beach where we were both born.
So true. Both born in Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly where I was born too. No, yeah,
Correct.
I think like objectively speaking, there's like there are songs now, like I think there's just like more one technology, more creativity, and also like times change and
Yeah,
like
of
styles
course.
change.
Of
So like when
course.
I listen back to like One Direction songs, it bring what makes me like it now is not that I think it's a good song. I think it's nostalgic.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it because objectively it's just not there's some
Mm,
songs that I think that have stood the test of time, but I
yes.
think that's on their later
Hmm.
albums.
Hmm.
Like Stockholm Syndrome is an amazing song.
It's great.
If I could get a song injected into my veins, like it would be that one.
I think um Little Things. I love that song. I think it is such a great song that's just like it's a classic, if you will.
Can I be honest with you?
You don't like that song.
I hate that song so much.
You know when that song hates you.
No, but I vividly remember like staying up until 5 in the morning just to listen to that song.
Oh my god.
Like I vividly remember like and there was releases like for I remember I was really young and I was in Paris with my parents,
As one is.
and my best friend at the time. And so Best Song Ever had leaked a day or two
Oh.
before our trip. So I
Mm-hmm.
remember like going to her house, like running like, "Oh my god, did you hear this?" and blasting that song over and over and over on repeat.
Yeah.
And so then I had found a way to like download the leaked video. So I downloaded the leaked video so we can stay up watching it. But
Yeah.
then the video was officially going to be released while we were in Paris, and this video was a really big deal to us because it was filmed in Miami. This was a
Oh
really
my
big deal.
god.
This
Mm.
video was a really big deal, and I remember telling my mom like I have to go to wherever it is that they're filming the studios, and she's like yeah we'll go. And I had friends who were there, and they're like oh like they're coming out. Those motherfuckers never came out, so I'm glad that I never ended up going.
Yeah, you would have
Um,
just wasted your time.
Correct. So it was a really big deal. So obviously when we were in Paris, like the video was being launched. So we stayed up late so we could watch the video, like the official video and like stream the official song
Yes.
just to give them the streams that counted towards them.
Of course, she kept their lights on. Sophie Lopez kept their lights on. But you don't like the your hand fishing mine like mine
No.
just for me. I love that song. I think that the guitar, the melody, the harmonies, I think it's a good song. Per
I
like
think the bit where they're like you still have to squeeze into your jeans,
oh, okay, no
but
that.
you're perfect to me. Girl, you should want someone with a voluptuous juicy ass in front of you. Like you should be so lucky.
You should be so lucky to have all this juice. Honestly, like what was it with like honestly before 2015? I would beg to say for the freaking Kardashians, like people took it as an insult, like for someone to say that your butt's big. Like back, I swear to God, I've been watching The
No, I do
Nanny.
remember. I do
Like
remember.
I've been watching The Nanny like crazy lately. Like it's my show that I watch like every single day.
Yeah.
And like they there's like, there's like they will say your butt looks bigger or something like that, or they'll say like a fleshy area and they refer to the butt, and like they take it as an insult, like they didn't like people saying that their butt's big. I'm like, if you tell me my
No,
butt's small or if you tell me my butt's flat, I will lay on the
that's
ground
offensive.
and cry, because I'm also lifting so much weight that I'm like, I'm trying to get, I don't go to the gym to be skinny, I don't go to the gym to be fit, I want the juiciest ass in the entire world.
True. True.
That's what I want.
There's yeah, because the fat phobia during that era was crazy, and I
Yeah.
remember, you remember Jessica Simpson? Of course, you remember Jessica
Yeah.
Simpson.
Hmm.
That Jessica Simpson was painted as like the fattest, biggest girl in pop culture when she was just like a regular straight four or a straight six. Like she was just your like
That's
your
so
average
skinny.
sized per. Maybe she was smaller than average, but still, like she was not a double zero. She was not a zero. So there was like, oh, she's fat. She's a whale.
You know what's
Be so
crazy?
fucking for real.
Marilyn Monroe literally wore a size 10.
I don't understand where the I don't understand the disconnect, but whatever.
Like
That's
she literally, and then also I remember so much. I think because I loved Christina Aguilera growing up, and I loved
mhm.
Burlesque. Like I
Oh
love
my
that
god, I
movie.
loved Burlesque.
Literally changed my life.
Yeah.
And I remember when she was playing that role, she got really thin. I think maybe because, they wanted her to play that. Anyone can
Yeah.
play it at any size, truly. But like after that, she had I think she had a baby and she had gained weight, as one does when you're like literally creating life. And
Yeah.
then I think she looks amazing. I think she looks spectacular, marvelous now. But when
Yeah.
she like gained weight from like having a baby, or she just gained weight because she did, and like that's what happens in life, everyone was like, "Oh, Christina Aguilera is so irrelevant.
She's
She's
fat.
she's fat, blah blah blah." And I'm like,
I
okay,
remember.
she's literally not. She's just bigger than she used to be when she was like probably super unhealthy.
Yeah. It's
Anyways,
fucking crazy, dude. But anyway, back
anyways.
to let's reel it back to One Direction.
Yeah, y'all remember Louis Tomlinson throwing chicken nuggets?
Oh my god. Yes.
I'd rather you, because Sophie told me this the other day and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So this is such a niche moment. Like when you were explaining it to me, I was like, I laughed because I was like, I feel like I remember that, but like
Dude.
I don't remember the scandal, el escándalo. Like I don't remember that.
But it wasn't a scandal. Maybe I remember seeing people online talking about like how disrespectful it was, but also objectively like it's fucking funny.
And you're like, it's a
Um
free chicken nugget.
it's a free fucking chicken nugget. Like
He's feeding the people. Where did this
you
happen?
you would be I don't know. I think it was in
It was
it
somewhere
had
in
I want to say
South
it was somewhere
America.
in South America.
Did you
I
say Panama?
No, I think I had said Chile. I think
Chile.
I think my best guesstimate is Chile, but don't quote me on that. I could be lying, but I do think it happened in South America when they were doing their South American tour,
Mm.
and I think it had to have been for it's not for where we are. Whatever, not a big deal right now. No, it was during the Midnight Memories run.
Okay.
I do remember that because I also went to Colombia to see them during that era.
Imagine being like, Mommy, I want to go to Colombia to see your grandma. No, I want to see One Direction.
No, literally, that's what I said. I'm like, Mommy, One Direction's going to Colombia. Oh, okay, where are they going? Bogota. I don't think we can do that. Yeah, but can't you tell Abuela to come meet us in Bogota and like we'll go to see One Direction?
You're so
Mm,
right.
I don't know about that, but somehow it ended up working.
No, you're so right. Also,
It ended
Sophie's
up
really good
working
at
out.
convincing people to go to different places to go see concerts.
So true. But
Yeah.
anyway, there was an incident. I don't even call it an incident because it was just so funny of Louis coming out on his balcony, and there was just like a mass of fans waiting downstairs or at like the ground level of the hotel. People just swarming them in thousands from the hotel. So he's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna throw chicken nuggets at them," and that's exactly what he did. He
As
literally
that's
had
the
like a
first thing that
carton
comes to mind.
a carton of McDonald's chicken nuggets, literally just throwing them down to the thousands of people. Objectively hilarious.
I think that, like we've said before, there are worse things that people could do. I would I would very much, if I was like waiting outside of a hotel room or something like that, I would either like hold on to that chicken nugget forever and be like, Louis Tomlinson touched this chicken nugget, or I would eat it. I'd be like, I'm hungry.
I would eat it. The fuck? I would eat it.
Imagine though, right now, someone selling on eBay or like in a market saying this was one of the chicken nuggets that Louis Tomlinson threw out his balcony.
No, that's disgusting that people would still have it this many
If
years later.
Girl, if it's from McDonald's, it doesn't look any
No,
different.
that's true. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, if it's from McDonald's, like, there's no mold on it. Like, that shit is resistant.
It's
It is
perfect.
resilient.
You could it like you could eat it and
Yeah.
it would actually make you immune to a lot of things that's going on right now.
No, so true. So true. You would never have to get a COVID boost because you would just need to eat the McDonald's chicken.
That's the COVID booster. That's the round three of COVID boosters.
Oh
Um,
my
so
god.
like there's these things, and then I want to talk about Wattpad.
Oh my god, let's talk about Wattpad.
I want to talk about okay. So if you don't know, if you weren't on Twitter at this time, Wattpad. Well, it wasn't primarily like distinctive to Twitter,
Twitter,
but like
yeah.
it was very popular of like people to read and post fan fictions that they would
Yeah.
write about specific. There's so many different ones. Like I know Brittany Broski talks about like Cole Sprouse fanfics that she would write.
Dude.
That's so niche, but I think it's so
Dude.
funny. But there was a lot, especially because we were in the One Direction, we were Directioners, so there were a lot of on this site called Wattpad, a lot of fanfics, and there were some like raunchy ones, like there were some like really hot and heavy ones for
They were
sure.
called smut. Yeah. The
Yeah,
smut.
the smut like that probably like 13-year-old girls were writing,
Yeah.
but there were also like very wait, do you follow the girl? I've asked you this before, but I don't know if you found her again, but like do you follow the girl on TikTok who kind of reenacts these
Oh
Wattpad
my god. I don't
stories?
follow her. I don't
Have you
follow
seen
her,
her
but I've
though?
seen her. Yeah.
She is I don't remember her name. I
No, but
can't remember her
I
name.
know exactly who you're talking about.
She will reenact. Well, I think that she writes her own, and she's like so she does a lot of like videos of her like doing stuff from like me getting ready for a party in 2014. You're wearing like all galaxy print and
No,
like
yeah, but
nerd glasses.
what she does is like you remember like the Imagine post that it was like
Imagine if.
Imagine. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, and it's literally like three sentences on a
Yes.
picture of Harry Styles like
Oh, she is
yeah.
so she hits it on she's like
Yeah.
on the nose with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So Wattpad, for me personally, I want to get into your experience about with Wattpad, but from but from you are also on Tumblr, right?
Oh my god, all of it. All I've been chronically online since the moment I came out the womb.
Okay, yeah. So Tumblr is like a whole nother episode, but on Wattpad, I remember this time that I would go to sleep reading. Like now I go to sleep to the sound of my air purifier, but back then my air purifier adjacent was Wattpad
Wow.
fanfics about Harry or Niall. Because
Yeah,
I was a Harry and I was a Nary girl.
dude.
I was a Nary girl.
I
I know
do
you were
remember.
Harry, like ride or die, and like I think I was a Harry girl, like by proxy because you and like everyone was a Harry girl. But like I remember I was like, there's something about Niall. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
carrots.
No, but
So
Carrots was Louis specific.
oh wait, then what was oh he was the little Clover,
Yeah, because he's
like the Irish
Irish.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Why did
yeah.
I think
Carrots is
that?
Louis specific because that came from like the video diaries when they were back in X Factor.
Oh yeah, why did I think that carrots were? And there were always like those pictures of like all of like the little symbols that
Yeah.
um what were they? The carrot, the little I like a clover usually, or like something Irish, or like a
Um,
leprechaun or something.
because for Louis, I think it varied between a carrot and a pigeon because there was like a running bit on the X Factor video diaries that not Kevin, that Louis had a pet pigeon named Kevin.
Yeah.
So that was like a bit. So it just depended. I could not tell you what everyone else's little like emojis were, but I do remember that. I do remember that vividly.
Yeah, I remember. And I would put it as like my profile picture, like a or something. Anyways, so my fanfics that I loved were the ones of like you being like best friends with Harry or Niall or something like that, and like your best friends, and like they were so PG. Like, and then imagine if you're walking and Harry touches your hand.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
god.
this is steamy.
No, can I be honest with you? I love the raunchy fix. I ate that shit up.
No, they're insane.
I had no business consuming that at the ripe age of 14 years old. I had no right. But oh my god, I ate that shit up. I loved it. Okay, can I tell you something that I don't really publicize?
Please, this is a safe space.
Correct. I wrote a fic at one point. I was I was like in middle school slash like early high school. I I wrote it. Me and my best friend at the time, we each wrote one. We each wrote one, and so she was a Zane girl. So I would always write like for her, like like a perfect relationship between her and Zane, and like them
You're
like
so
finally
talented.
kissing, and then like finally kissing. So I'm like, I want you to live your fantasy, like live your life. Like I would write like a relationship for her, and then she would write one for me and Harry.
So you're so talented. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's something that I don't tell people, but I
Oh
guess now
God.
everyone knows.
Now it's out to all 14 of you.
Now
Sophie wrote
people
a fan
know.
fiction.
I did.
Listen, listen. It is a creative outlet. Okay, you have a lot of feelings and emotions that you go through
Yeah.
at the ripe age of 14. Okay, so writing a fanfic is not the worst thing that you could do.
No, but can I tell you that it was really bad?
What fanfic wasn't?
No, there's a lot of fanfics that were good. I
I always thought that they
remember
were bad because I'm like, this is so unrealistic. You bitches have me out here being Delulu.
no, but I wasn't like exclusive to like One Direction fan fictions. Like
Oh, you were.
I
Oh, okay, okay.
I would read like other random, not random, but like it was like of interest at that time.
I only
But
ever read One Direction because
I
that's when I was
remember
mostly on Twitter.
no, because I used to read One Direction, but the one that always had me like on like a tight grip was the After trilogy.
What's
I remember.
that?
Oh my god, you don't know After? Have you never seen the movie After?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's basically
Oh
it's
God.
it's basically a story of this girl who falls in love with Harry, but Harry's like such an asshole, and he's a punk rock motherfucker who just wants to kill and murder everyone. But this girl's like, I can change him, I can fix him.
Oh, this caused all of our trauma and
No,
relationships.
correct. So he was just like a really like tough motherfucker, and like they ended up going to like school together, but it was also like a very like a violent and abusive relationship, and it I can't really tell you what it was about anymore because it just I forgot, but I remember being so incredibly involved in it to the point that like because at school like we had iPads,
Mm.
so I remember being in the lunch line on my iPad like, oh my god, they just updated the new After chapter, and so obviously since I went to an all girls school, what was everyone talking about at lunch?
Duh.
After. You would literally see people like on their iPads like scrolling, reading, and then when they'd finish a chapter, you go, it
That is so funny.
it consumed everyone's life.
I'm sure with you going to an all-girls school though, that was like, that was bound to, it helped with the fact that like everyone was talking about it.
Dude, no, crazy. And I remember the exact day that Live While We're Young launched because it leaked while I was at lunch at school.
Oh my
And so
God.
there's a girl like, I have the leak, and literally like 200 girls surrounding her to see the fucking leaked video.
That is insane. Was this a Catholic school or was it just a private?
It was a Catholic school.
Sophie.
I know. I know.
That is so funny that
It
you're
was
reading that in the
painful.
lunch line
Oh, yeah.
of a Catholic school. That is
Dude,
so funny.
crazy things went down at that school, but that was like
Catholic
the change.
girls are Catholic girls who grew up Catholic are different, girl. I went to a Catholic school for 1 year in seventh grade.
Dude, crazy.
Oh my, I remember the time that just because we always talk about Taylor Swift. One thing about us, we're always going to talk about Taylor Swift. Um, I remember this was like I remember talking about this in school. I think I was in eighth grade. Was when um Taylor Swift and Harry Styles kissed on New Year's Eve.
I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago too, but I remember seeing that and it was literally like a
My
knife
heart
straight
broke.
into my heart. That was a knife straight into my heart.
Listen, I've never gone through a breakup in my life, but I think that it would come very close
To the
to how I felt that
feeling.
day.
No, and you know what else had people like in an absolute struggle was when Zayn was caught smoking for the first time.
That was like we felt like mothers that had
Oh,
caught their child smoking. We were like, I can't. And then he started getting tattoos, and we
no,
were
but
like, where did we go wrong with you?
no, but I was like, okay, like he looks hot. Like here's the thing. Smoking is bad. Objectively, smoking is
Yes.
bad. But you
Listen,
cannot
though.
tell me that holding a cigarette in your hand makes you look cool as shit.
Listen. Have you ever smoked we don't have to dish that out here.
No,
I
but
have.
I haven't.
Okay, you've never smoked. In my college days, I smoked a
Okay.
lot of cigarettes.
Okay.
Only when under the influence.
Yeah, they're gross. They're bad for you.
They're
They're literally nasty.
No, they're
So
disgusting.
nasty.
They're disgusting. Listen, do what you want with your life. Do what you want with
Yeah.
your body. But me subjectively, they're so gross. But you know how cool I felt?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You know how cool I felt? But you know how
Objectively.
disgusting I felt the next day? It was
No.
awful. And you smell
No,
horrible.
of course.
So when that happened, everyone was like, what is happening to our baby? But this, I think that changed. He was very like cookie cutter, very much like, like straight edge
Yeah, of
until that
course.
point. And everyone kind of had, even before then, everyone had kind of pinned him as kind of like the rebel of the group a little bit. Um,
Yeah, but was that racially motivated?
you know what? That's a really good point, though. Like the bad boy of the group,
Was that racially motivated?
that definitely could have been.
But I don't think he wasn't the bad boy. Like he was just a teenage boy like living his life.
Maybe he was like, I don't know what it was about Zayn. I think it was just like, you're completely right, though,
Yeah,
about
I
like
think it was
racially
racially
motivated.
motivated. Like he's hot. Sorry, he's brown and hot. Like I don't know what to tell you guys.
He has like, why do men get the best genetics for eyelashes? My husband has the longest eyelashes in the world.
That's because they've never put anything on their eyelashes. So like it's just like
I think I've
intact.
fried mine off by
Yeah.
putting like telescopic mascara on. But I remember when this happened. And the the Australia hotel ambush.
Dude, yes. Okay,
This
yes,
is
that's
another one that I don't really remember. I'm like, Sophie is in on so many niche moments of the One Direction era.
yeah, okay, let's finish the conversation on Zayn really, really quick.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
But I do remember that there was people that were writing like open letters to Zayn and like showing up to concerts with like, please don't smoke, you're killing yourself. Or like you remember like that stupid ass like Tumblr font that people would like write with.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but if
Is
you've seen it, you know that
yeah.
they would draw things and like post the picture of the writing online, and it's like, you're killing yourself, please promise me that you'll be okay. Like stupid. He's living his life. Like you are not his mother, you are not his girlfriend. Like
He's not
shut
gonna
the
see it.
fuck up. Like he doesn't care. He literally looked at that, don't
He's
care,
not on Tumblr
didn't ask. He was on Twitter. So remember, I'm sure that he was scrolling through this shit like, don't care,
with a cigarette
didn't
in hand.
ask, fuck you, I'll never meet you. Like I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But I remember people feeling like so incredibly heartbroken over the fact that he was smoking, because
Yeah.
there was another video that came out of him and Louis like rolling up in the back of a car.
That is so funny. But at the same time, like
Yeah.
people forget that one, you experiment with things when you're a teenager and like young adolescents. And at this point, they must have been like what, 19,
Yeah,
not
but that's the
20.
thing. Like the fandom wasn't even at that point. Like we weren't even that old yet. The majority of the fandom wasn't even in
We
their
weren't
late
even
teens
15. Yeah.
to be saying. So like it was very much like spewing the things that our parents had always told us our
Yes.
entire lives, like how drugs are bad, blah blah. Now we look back and it's like, okay, like everyone does it. Like
They were like, okay, he
it's
was,
not a big deal. Like to each their own. Like who gives a fuck? But back then it was so incredibly personal because that's what we had. That's all we knew.
and also like I remember like the dare things and like, oh, don't do drugs and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's like, it reminds me of like the Louis and Zayn thing. It reminds me of like when this was before the One Direction era.
Yeah.
But when Miley Cyrus was caught smoking weed at a party and like
Yes.
that was crazy. Do you remember her and her and Mandy, I think, were like on
Yes. Yes.
YouTube,
Yes.
like
Yes.
the
Yes.
Miley
Yes.
and Mandy show,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
like it was them two, and then it was like they were rivals with like Selena and Demi, who
And
would also
Demi.
post on
Yes.
YouTube. See, like that was the era, that was pre One Direction era. That was like
That was.
that was I wasn't on on Twitter. I was on YouTube watching that stuff
Yeah,
go
because
down.
that was during the Jonas Brothers era.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and there was beef there, Avi.
Avi, yeah, of course there was Avi
Yeah.
beef there. But
Yeah.
we don't have to get into Selena and Demi. We can just
That's
go
another time.
into
That's another time. The Australia hotel ambush. Sophie talks about this one, or she brought this one up
Yeah,
with
because it's so funny. Like it wasn't anything serious. It was very much the same
really
energy as we were talking about earlier when like Louis was throwing the
lame.
chicken nuggets. That it's just like there was this phenomenon that like when people knew where these people were staying, they would just show up in masses
That's
to their
scary.
hotels. Which I get it,
I
it's scary. But
I
all
understand it though.
I understand it from the perspective of a teenage girl who like you really have nothing to lose and like you genuinely don't have a sense of anyone else's personal safety or anyone else's privacy. So like I
Yeah.
don't care. I'll see them at any means. Like I don't care because at that point like you're thinking like oh like it's fine like I just won't be in my house for 8 hours. But like not taking it from the perspective of the people that are like oh like I actually need to go out and live my life. Aside
Yeah.
from the fact that they're staying at the hotel, there's other residents that are staying at the hotel that
Yeah, that's
need
true.
to live their lives. They're here for a reason. Like they paid money to get there too. So like not only you're affecting the poor hotel guests, but
And
the
the
people that you're
employees.
yeah, and the employees and the people that you're here to see.
Hmm.
Um,
Like I understand being in the fact that like they were so global that
yeah,
like you're like, oh my God, I'm in the same area as them. Like I need to see them. When's the next time that I'm gonna be able to see them? And
yeah,
I understand that like from our mindsets, it would have been super pure. Like we're not there to harm them, we're not there to hurt them. We just want to see them. We just
correct.
want to be in the same space as them. But
It's so unsafe.
being on the other side, you don't know someone's intentions. You have no idea
Correct.
what they're capable of, what they could do, who they're with, who they are. In your head, you feel like you know them. Like
Yeah,
as a
the
fan, you feel like
parasocial
you know them.
relationship that you have with them is crazy.
Yeah, but they have no idea who you are. They have
Yeah,
no, and like a lot of people don't understand this. And I think that like with influencing, like I post so much of my life out like
online.
online. And so people are constantly like, I feel like we're on FaceTime. I feel like we're besting us. I'm like, online, we totally are. And like when people have come up to me and been like, I watch your TikTok videos, love your TikTok
Mhm.
videos, there's that connection because they know me, but I have to also understand like I want them to understand I don't know who they are. So like whenever anyone comes up to me, I'm asking them questions because
Yeah,
it's like I'm saying, hi, how are you? What's your name and stuff like that? Because there needs to be that connection. But a lot of the times when it's so global, when it's so like meta, like you can't possibly go up to every single person who admires you or who's like at your concert, or who's at
that's
your hotel.
true.
Like
That's true.
it's more difficult to do that. And like at the level that they were, it was massive.
Yeah, but that also like assuming that they want to do that, like
They're
they're
super
not
adult,
they're not what's it called? Like
obligated.
no one's ever obligated to like come up to you and tell you that I love you so much, thank you for supporting me. No one's
Yeah.
obligated to do that. People do that out of the kindness of their hearts, but like at the end of the day, like all these celebrities that we were fans of still slash are fans of, like they don't owe us jack shit. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
popping back to the Australia hotel. I don't remember where they were. Maybe it was Sydney, maybe it was Brisbane. I don't remember. But everyone was swarming their hotel and I remember Liam tweeting like consistently. He's like, "What are you guys doing? Everyone turn around." And then the one tweet that had everyone like rolling was he's like, "It's a snake habitat. Turn around." Because there was
That's funny.
signs because you know everything in Australia is like out to kill you. So
Sure.
there was like
Yeah.
signs that it's like snake habitat, caution, stay out.
That's so
So
funny.
he was like I get like out of the kindness of his heart. He was like, "Get out! Like it's a snake habitat. Turn around. What are you
And
doing?"
of course, everyone
Girl.
took that and made it like a running bit.
No, yeah, it was a bit. But also you're in Australia, like these people aren't scared of anything.
Australians are built different. Like they're not going to be scared of that. They're like, no, we get it.
This is a perfect little segue for one last thing that I wanted to mention.
What?
5 seconds of summer, that era of five sauce. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
We all remember where we were when five sauce
Australian.
dropped for the first time. Australians.
Yes. Yes.
I listen. I can't talk crazy shit about people showing up to hotels because I literally did that. I did it for One Direction twice.
Oh my God. Did you
I
ever
did
see him?
no, almost.
Mm.
I remember they were staying at a hotel here in it was in Key Biscayne. So they were staying at a hotel in Key Biscayne. And so the way that I had gotten access to the hotel is that had gotten my mom was at the spa for the day.
Oh,
And I had told
period.
him like, "Mom, One Direction is at this hotel." Again, no, why are we going to do that? Me begging, crying. She's like, "Okay, whatever. I'll book a day at the spa because I need a break, as
Sure.
every mother does. You can roam around the hotel. Have a good time."
Okay.
So
Good compromise.
she booked a day at the spa. And so I remember that I was walking through like the hotel property and I was about to turn the corner to just get to the next point and a security guard like comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, where are you
Oh,
going?" And I'm like, "Oh, my mom's at the spa, like I'm just walking around the property." And he's like, "No, well, you need to get out of here." And I was like, "Why?" And then I hear a
okay.
laugh. I hear a laugh. I'm like, "Oh, oh, that's Harry Styles." Like there's no way. Literally around the corner was Harry Styles, but the security guard didn't let him come out. So I was this close from him.
Sophie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so then there was a second time. This this one, the first time it had happened was during the Take Me Home tour. And so no, it wasn't during Take Me Home. No, it was during Take Me Home.
This is
And so
crazy.
then the second time that I was waiting at the hotel for them was during their stadium tour where they did the Midnight Memories run.
Hmm.
And so I went to another hotel like on the beach, and I were like getting into the hotel. I'm like, fuck it, yeah, like we made it, we passed security. When you get to the hotel, the elevator to like start like go, you need a key. You needed a key. And so that was at the point when that wasn't like a widely accessible technology. So
Yeah.
we're like, fuck, I can't do this. Blah, 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 blah. So I literally had to go. I retreated back outside because I physically could not get into the hotel because you needed a key to get from place to place.
Oh my God.
A huge pain in the ass.
You were so
But
close that one time though.
that was really close, but I did stay at the same hotel that 5 Seconds of Summer did during the Take Me Home tour.
That's
I
wild.
did because I found it online because they were silly enough to take
Sophie.
listen, they were silly enough to take a fan photo in front of the hotel with the what's it called? The name of the hotel that was on the carpet.
Oh, see, that was their mistake.
That's the thing. So it's like at my grown age, I wouldn't do that,
Sure.
obviously, but as a teenage girl, all bets are off the table. As previously mentioned, like teenage girls have no regard for anyone's safety but their own.
No, and that's, do you remember that one time that we were gonna go see a recording, like a live recording of like X Factor or something like that,
Oh
or
my god,
American
yes.
Idol?
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
then
yes,
we
yes.
we were going to, and then the line was super long, so we like got out of line and we
We're
like
like,
went
fuck this
outside,
shit. Yeah.
and then Ricky Martin just walked right past us with
Oh
his
my god,
kids.
wait. Yeah, that was for La Wanda. That was like
Oh,
they were trying to do the same thing that they did for One Direction. I I remember this because I remember people were talking about it at work that they were trying to replicate the same success that they had for One Direction. So they were pulling out
never
all the
happened.
stops to see what they could do to make like a Latin American or like a Hispanic version of One Direction. Never happened. Never
Never
happened. And La
happened.
Banda was intended for that purpose, to get the world's biggest boy band.
Never happened. We did see Ricky Martin twice. He walked in and out right past
Yeah,
us. Didn't
he
even acknowledge our existence though.
nope. He outfit atrocious. He looked horrible.
Wasn't he in like a long, like yellow tank
Yes,
top with like some joggers and like tennies and
with like green joggers, and then he had like his hair like
yes,
spiked up, but he had the worst frosted tips that I had ever seen in my entire life.
I remember that.
I
I
do
remember
remember
that.
that.
That
But
was
yeah,
like my celebrity sighting. Um, to
but
wrap
five
it.
seconds of some. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm
I'm sorry. I'm so
sorry.
sorry. I'm
5 seconds
sorry.
of summer. If I'm
No,
okay.
do you remember fan update accounts?
Mm,
It was like the update accounts that you would refer to on twitter.com
yes.
to
Yes.
see like what your favorite celebrity was doing. And
Hmm.
so it was like they were fandom specific, but there was multiple within each fandom.
Hmm.
So there was a 5 seconds of summer fan account. That dude, I there's just
I
so
didn't know
many.
you rode this hard for Five Sauce.
Oh my god, I rode super hard for Five Sauce. I loved Five Sauce for a really long time.
Oh my God. I went to go see them, I think like my sophomore, junior year of high school. They were
I
good.
loved them.
Wait, continue, continue.
No, but there was a fan account, and I remember there was this one fan account that like no one really cared. No one like it's like whatever. Like if a fan account goes silent, like no one's gonna ask, right? But there was this one fan account who hadn't been active in God knows how long, and then comes back online like, "Hey guys, sorry I was inactive. I was just kidnapped."
Casual?
Very casual.
What the heck?
It was so funny.
Be like
I don't I
BRB.
I don't know how true that is, but the idea of you're being kidnapped and the first thing that you think of is like I need to get back to tell my fans where I am.
Stop. That is
I need to go to my update account to tell my fans where I
the
am, what's going
internet.
on.
The internet is so unserious.
No, dude, that's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
that's my biggest takeaway from like being chronically online since like literally we were children.
Yeah,
Because like before Twitter, there was YouTube. Before YouTube, there was MySpace. Like we've been since
of
quite
course.
literally we came out of the room and like grow consciousness, like we've
Of course.
been around social media.
Uh,
Even before MySpace, there was MTV. Like it wasn't online, but it was like a media outlet. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
like we've literally, it's so unserious that like
Yeah.
we're like messed up.
I do remember. Yeah, and I remember the worst day online for me was when Zayn left. One Direction.
Girl, I can't even get into that. The one time I went to go see One Direction was when they were on like the Honda Civic, like the Honda or whatever
Yeah.
tour. When Zayn had already left,
Yeah.
and
I
Icona Pop opened for them. I
that was
love it.
that was the worst. That was the worst time online for me, and I remember
I remember.
exactly where I was when it happened. That was like my personal 9/11. Like I have never got I never got over it. I remember coming home from school like sobbing, and mom was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Zayn left One Direction and he's never coming back." And she's like, "Okay." And
Okay, and
yeah, I remember that I was taking a history test and I had just finished my history test, and after our test, like we were allowed to like pull up our iPad to like start catching up on reading.
and of course you were on Twitter.
No, I got a message from one of my friends. She's like, "Hey, Zayn just left One Direction." I messaged her back, "LOL, that's not funny. I just finished my test. Like, don't freak me out like that." And she goes, "No, I swear, go look." And at that point, we weren't allowed to go on Twitter because it was blocked
Sure.
by whatever, it was blocked by the system.
Yes.
But there was a VPN that you could use to get around it, so I went on the VPN and I checked, and it was true. My life changed forever.
Everyone knew where they were. I think I was in school or had just gotten home.
Yeah.
And I was like, my heart sank. I was like, because I was like, okay, there's no more One Direction.
Yeah,
Like,
I
there's no
literally
more One Direction.
that was the
They
end of it for
tried.
me.
They tried to keep it going. And I was like, who are you fooling?
That was the end of it for me. And but I get it.
Yeah. But
But that was the worst.
to
That was the worst day online.
close this out, I think that we can both agree the worst day online was the day that Zayn
Zayn left.
announced he was leaving One Direction.
Yeah, and I get it. Poor guy. I get it.
And with that, we bid you farewell.
We bid you adieu.
Let
Thanks
us
for
know in the
watching.
comments below where you guys were when Zayn left One Direction.
Were you also as affected as I were? I need to know.
Honestly, Sophie has never recovered from that.
No, my life changed forever.
I think if you were to start therapy, you should definitely start with that.
No, my life as I know it right now ended and started with Zayn's departure from One Direction.
It was a reincarnation moment for Sophie.
But yeah.
Well, you guys can find this episode on Spotify. You guys can find this episode on YouTube. Please watch our last episode, like and subscribe, leave us a comment, and
Don't forget to
socials.
follow us on at She's Just Like Me Pod across TikTok and what's the other one we have?
Instagram.
Instagram. Sorry.
I
I
need to post on Instagram more.
I blacked out. I forgot.
It's okay. Sophie was thinking about Zayn leaving.
I was.
But we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening, and let us know what you guys want us to talk about next week.
Bye guys. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.